nature, and then they are ready for the next rung.
So when we look out at the world and we see someone trapped in what looks like a tragic, inescapable loop of hardship.
This raises an essential point about judgment and how we view the pain of others. Observers who are ignorant of a soul's full history cannot possibly understand the necessity of their current pain.
Because we don't have the context.
Right. From the outside, observing one single lifetime is like walking into the middle of a complex, life-saving surgery. It looks violent, traumatic, and random. We don't see the initial disease, and we don't see the healing that follows. We only see the incision.
That is a powerful way to put it.
This multi-lifetime recycling process is deeply intimate, entirely necessary, and utterly incomprehensible without the full scope of their past actions.
So what does this all mean for us interacting with each other right now? If we're all just running our own individual karmic loops of repeated lessons, doesn't that make human existence incredibly isolating?
It can definitely seem that way at first glance.
Because I'm picturing a planet populated by 8 billion souls, all wearing their own private virtual reality headsets, running totally isolated karmic simulations. If my suffering is specifically tailored to my past actions, what does it have to do with you?
It is the easiest trap to fall into when studying karmic law, believing that nothing outside your own progression matters. But Naidu's framework elegantly avoids that isolation by showing how this intense, localized recycling serves a massive, interconnected purpose.
Okay, how so?
The individual simulations are actually woven together to foster collective evolution, because we are required to witness one another. Yes. The simple act of observing another soul undergo its grueling, repetitive education acts as a catalyst for our own spiritual growth. The teachings reveal that this witnessing generates profound compassion in the observer.
Even if we don't know the mathematical, karmic reason behind why they are suffering.
Especially because we don't know why. The framework specifies two major developments that arise directly from this dynamic of witnessing. First, it actively cultivates our tolerance for those who annoy or frustrate us.
Which is essentially the daily prerequisite for participating in human society. I mean, we all need more of that.
It is the most common friction we face. But when that coworker undermines you or someone cuts you off, recognizing them not as an obstacle, but as a young soul potentially struggling blindly through their own recycled lesson, shifts your reaction.
So the mechanism of the universe uses their immaturity to force your soul to practice tolerance.
Exactly. And second, witnessing the deeper, incomprehensible suffering of others cultivates a profound, unconditional kindness.
Because our souls recognize the sheer weight of the educational process itself, even if our minds can't grasp the specifics of their curriculum.
Precisely. We become the environment for each other's spiritual evolution. We aren't isolated students taking exams in soundproof booths. Every single interaction, the minor frictions, the deep betrayals, the unexplainable tragedies, they all serve as raw material.
So my struggle might be the exact lesson your soul needs to learn patience. Your ignorance might be the precise resistance I need to practice forgiveness. We are all unwitting teachers for one another's souls.
Nothing is wasted. The architecture of human evolution ensures that no pain is random and no interaction is without immense value. The journey to Kihatsu, to ultimate enlightenment, is achieved by ascending your own personal ladder, yes. But the structural integrity of that ladder is forged entirely out of your empathy for everyone else climbing theirs.
Wow. We have traversed a massive philosophical landscape today. We started at the foundational rung of the new soul, looking at how the life review acts as a cosmic data integration system, taking raw physical experience and compiling it into our deep-seated spiritual intuition.
And from there, we examine the activation of true accountability in the young soul stage, the rigorous neutral mechanics of karma and dharma commencing.
And the profound revelation that the universe deals strictly in experiential education, completely bypassing our human desire for vindictive punishment.
Right, a system built on the absolute necessity of repetition, the recycling of the soul through required, exact suffering, designed to strip away the ego's defenses and enforce pure empathy.
Which ultimately weaves together into a masterpiece of collective progression. Every isolated loop of suffering is actually a vital thread pulling the rest of humanity toward greater compassion.
It fundamentally reorganizes how we are meant to perceive the friction of daily life.
It really does. Which leaves you, our listener, with a final perspective to carry out into that seemingly chaotic world.
Absolutely. The next time you find your patience pushed to its absolute limit by someone deeply abrasive, or you stand helpless watching a stranger endure a struggle that feels entirely unfair and random, Pause for just a moment. Ask yourself, what might the vast, unseen history of their soul's education actually look like? And perhaps more importantly, is your immediate reaction to them right now simply the next rung appearing on your own ladder?